So now let's talk about R when it appears with other consonants at the beginnings of words. For example, in the word frog, we have F and R, F, They blend together and go into the next vowel sound. Frog, frog. Be careful. If you go too fast, people may not hear R, and you're going to say a different word. Fog. And that's not right. And if you go too slowly, you'll get something like frog, 2 syllables, and that doesn't sound correct either. So be careful. I also want to note how R has a special pronunciation after 3 sounds. After the sound k, as in crazy. After the sound P, as in prize. And after the T sound, T, as in train. If you want to master the R sound, then I want you to understand this. R is a voice sound, but after these 3 consonant sounds, it begins voiceless and then becomes voiced as we go into the next vowel sound. So, k, we don't have our voice. And as we begin the R, we don't have our voice. But as we move into A, now you'll hear vibration. Crazy, crazy. Down here, P is voiceless. You will not feel vibration here. Again, R will begin without vibration, and then you'll add your voice as we move into I. Prize, prize. And in this last word, T is voiceless. R begins voiceless and takes on a voiced sound as we move into A. Train, train. So now let's practice similar words.
Exercise 8. Listen and repeat after me. Brain, break, broom, draw, drew, drown, frog, frown, fry, grass, grain, grow, shrink, shrank, shrunk. Be careful with this group. Remember, after k, p, t, the R sound begins voiceless and then becomes voiced. Crazy, crane, crash, scratch, pray, project, prime, spray, train, trip, tree, strum.
Before we go on with our next exercise, I want to emphasize yet again the importance of the position of your tongue. Remember that the front part of your tongue, the tip, is raised towards the bump behind your upper teeth, but it doesn't touch. The tip of your tongue cannot touch the bump or any part of the roof of your mouth. In some other languages, the front part of your tongue does have contact with the bump or some part of the roof of your mouth, but in English it doesn't. So I want to demonstrate what happens when you pronounce R incorrectly. Do you recognize this name? President Ronald Reagan. If you know American history and politics, then you know who this is. But even if you don't, it will help us with pronunciation. The correct pronunciation is President Ronald Reagan. We have R's here and here. If I take my tongue and touch some part of the roof of my mouth, this name will now sound like President Ronald Reagan. And it doesn't sound like American English, does it? In other languages, you have flapping and trilling with your tongue. In American English, you do not. We need to say President Ronald Reagan. So now let's go on with the next exercise, and remember the front part of your tongue must be raised but will not touch any part of the roof of your mouth.
Exercise 9. Listen. You will hear 3 words. Identify which word is different. Example. Listen. Pay, pay, pray. I said, pay, pay, pray. The third word was different. Number 1. Listen. Down, drown, down. I said, down, drown, down. The second word was different. 2. Listen. Boom, boom, broom. I said, boom, boom, broom. The third word was different. 3. Listen. Cane, crane, crane. I said, cane, crane, crane. The first word was different. 4. Listen. Strain, strain, stain. I said, strain, strain, stain. The third word was different. 5. Listen. Tea, tree, tea. I said, tea, tree, tea. The second word was different.
That's all for now. Don't miss the final part of this lesson on R. We still have yet to talk about R and L together in one word. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching and happy studies.